Manafort has ties to other Trump associates like Roger Stone, who are also under scrutiny for their connections to Russia. Elaine, both are expected to be called to testify before the House Intelligence Committee.
Well, Jeff, what else can you tell us about Paul Manafort and his business dealings?
Well, he's a real Washington power broker, but not only for his connections here in this city, but also his connections internationally. He has done business with countries like Nigeria, Angola. I'm just kind of reading through this list. Peru, Saudi Arabia, and during that time, really over a 30-year period, he's made tens of millions of dollars. Now, he has denied any sort of wrongdoing, but the question is, in this case, are his ties to Russian operatives, Russian officials. He says that he has not done any work for the Russian government, but it is these relationships that he's had through his business with Russian billionaires.
Well, according to the Associated Press, Manafort was going to influence news coverage to favor Putin. What can you tell us about that?
Well, when I read that report, what really stood out to me was this term influence. And according to the Associated Press, this is what he wrote in a proposal to represent, to do this work, to influence news coverage in a favorable way for Vladimir Putin. And so when I heard that word influence, it reminded me certainly of this investigation that is underway right now by the FBI. And I'm going to say it again, Paul Manafort denies any sort of wrongdoing, denies that he has done any work on behalf of the Russian government. But there are documents coming out that show perhaps indirect ties at the very least. And this document that came out today, obtained by the Associated Press, reinforces that there may have been some sort of connections here, but we'll just have to see. And it's certainly something that investigators are looking into.
Yeah, and how are investigators proceeding? How are they going about their work trying to track down some of these answers?
Well, this is a pretty broad investigation, as you know, but one thing that they're doing, and this is what I've been told, they are following the money. Where does the money trail lead? And frankly, that's something that they do in a lot of investigations. But in this case, where does the money lead? Was there money laundering involved? So one thing that we know that they are doing, according to our law enforcement sources, they are following the money, Elaine.
Finally, Jeff, what type of consequences could Paul Manafort face if these allegations are true?
Well, we'll just have to see. We'll have to see. We heard some of this come out in the questioning during the House Intel Committee hearing on Monday. There could be some legal ramifications, but not only for Paul Manafort, but for others now who are coming out in this. The names that are surfacing, certainly Roger Stone is a name that you've heard a lot, Paul Manafort and others. But we'll just have to see what type of legal consequences there could be in this case. And again, everybody who has been mentioned has denied any sort of wrongdoing.
All right, Jeff Pegues in Washington for us. Jeff, thank you.